Hey everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Let me know where you're logging on from. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to talk about your health today. Southern Cali. Hey, Lady LBA, what's up? Southern California, Transforming WOG. Transform WOG, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Snyder, Texas. Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. If you're joining, we're going to talk about your health. Do me a favor, invite your friends, invite your followers, tweet, post on Facebook. You can do so by tapping that little guy right there. Hey, Chris from DC, what's up? Oak Park, okay. Oak Park, OP in the house. Aurora in the house, what's up, Ryan? So you can invite your friends and followers by, on Android, you'll swipe up. On the iPhone, you'll swipe to the right. And please invite some people. We're going to talk about health, and I'm going to take your health questions. Hey, greetings from Hyderabad. Hey, how you doing? Is it still warm in Hyderabad? It was hot when we were there. Hey, how's everybody doing? Good morning to you. I want to let you know about health. Health is important. Hope y'all know your health is important. And if you don't, now you know. But I believe that your health, hey, Johannesburg, hey, what's up? I believe that your health is one of the best investments that you can make. Because you cannot pay for a new body. I know you can pay for maybe some different body parts, maybe some enhancements of parts, but you can't get a new body. Your body is your body. Your organs are your organs. Your systems are your systems. And so because of it, you've only been given one, and you've been given one to be sure that you are a good steward over. We have to make sure, the Bible calls us to live disciplined lifestyles as Christian believers. You got to make sure to be disciplined in every area of your life. It's not just called to be disciplined in spiritual things, but also disciplined in natural things also. So health, that's really, really important, having a healthy lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying this from a place of I do perfectly all the time, but I know it's important because it's one of the best investments that you can make. So check this out. For some of you all who don't know, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in health and exercise science. And before I was called into the ministry, I wanted to be a cardiologist, a heart surgeon. And so I was studying to be a heart surgeon. I actually had a pre-medical concentration. I was going to go to med school, but I had my major was health and exercise science, and I was learning about the body. And even after I graduated, and even while I was in the School of Theology at ORU and in seminary, I was a personal trainer. I was NSCA certified. I was a personal trainer. I did work at a gym. I had different clients and people that I would work out. And I remember my boss said this one day, and I never forgot it, that your body is one of the best investments that you can ever make. Your health is one of the best investments that you can ever make. Because once it goes, it goes. And a lot of times there might not be a lot that you can do about it. And so I know sometimes they have medicine and different procedures to try to treat it, but let me say this, that there is not a treatment that you can go buy that treats your bad habits, or a treatment that you could go buy that exercises for you. I know there's a lot of creative ways that we're trying to do it, but I tell people there's still no simple solution or easy solution that involves you doing nothing that helps you get healthy. I don't care what they say. Do not believe what they put on the television. There is no way to good health that doesn't involve you working at it or working for it. And so I know they got the things that you strap on that help you like lose weight while you sit. And I know, they have they used to have, I don't know if Hydroxycut is still around, but they had the metabolism boosting stuff to help you lose weight while you do nothing. And I mean, all that stuff is fine. And some of it is not. Some of it has stuff inside of it that is dangerous for your organs. And as you take it over time, it will make your body shut down. So I'm here to encourage you. Live a healthy lifestyle. So what's the number one goal? What's the key? The thing that I always used to tell clients, this is what the key is. The key to good health is consistency. Consistency. That's it. That's the key to good health. And of course, you got to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it. But the key is consistency. People ask them, okay, first of all, what are your goals? Losing weight is different than looking better in clothes. You could be 100 pounds overweight and then lose that 100 pounds, but still not be satisfied by the way you physically look in clothes and your appearance to people. And so those are two different things. And so we used to go over the goals. And so it might not be just weight loss. You might want to look a certain way. And so I'm here to say that what I would tell them is that you can't necessarily look a certain way through cardio alone. It's not just about running 3 or 4 miles every day, but sometimes to look that certain way, you're going to have to add some strength training to it. You're going to have to add some resistance training, whether it's bands or whether it's weights or those kind of things. You're going to have to add some level of resistance training sometimes to get that muscle tone and that look that you're looking for. Sometimes the look that people are looking for is when they look at people who are healthy, who exercise regularly. They notice that they have a certain appearance. Even while they stand, they have a certain stance. And that comes from working out those muscles. And as you work out those muscles, one of the first things I would tell guys is that as you continue to consistently work out, you'll notice that your actual body stance will change. And as you stand, you will actually have a stronger stance. And even from appearance, just visually from appearance, you'll look stronger, because maybe if you used to slouch, you'll now stand up straight. Why? Because those muscles now are tightened, they're stronger. And so I'm here to tell you, consistency is the key. Don't give up. If you know that going into 2016 next year, you need to make some changes, I advise you, and I also warn you, don't try to make crazy dramatic changes. For a very small percentage of the population, that might work, because that might be how you're wired, that you can make dramatic changes and just stick it. But for a lot of people, I say incorporate it to normal everyday life. And so let's not try to, you never worked out before and now we're going to try to do it 5 days a week. That doesn't work. You know why? Because you see 90 to 95% of people will fall off. After the first couple weeks, after the first month or so, they'll fall off. And so what you got to do is you got to make sure to incorporate it into your everyday life. What does that mean? So that means that, hey, let's find just a couple days a week that I can work out. What is conducive for my schedule? Boom. Okay, we'll put it in there. And then you also want to find out, as far as diet, how can I start scaling back? Maybe I drink a liter of pop or soda a day, pop or soda depending on where you're at in the country. Maybe you drink a pop every day. And so start scaling back. Say, okay, only 3 days out of the week am I going to do this? Maybe just 1 day out of the week. And so you start working it into everyday life. So the key is consistency. And if I had a sub point to that, I would say make sure to work it in as a lifestyle. Don't just let it be a diet. Diets don't work. You know why? Because they say 90% of Americans who go on diets, once they come off, they end up at the same place or worse off than they were before when they started the diet, because it is called yo-yo dieting. And so because a lot of people, they don't make it a lifestyle, they just make it a short-term goal. Because maybe I want to drop 10 pounds, or summertime's coming up, want to look good in the bathing suit, and they make it a short-term goal. But the danger of that is you might end up worse off than you came. And so with good health, when you're talking about good health, you want to incorporate it into everyday life. And so as you incorporate it into everyday life, I believe that you'll see changes, you'll see good things happen, and you'll see some goals that you want to meet met. And so my encouragement to you is work in good health and a healthy lifestyle as everyday life. Also, make sure to get plenty of sleep. It's hard for your body to do what it needs to do with lack of sleep. Did you know that when you have a lack of sleep and you have elevated stress levels, that actually raises the level of cortisol in your body, and cortisol actually works to gather and grab fat and store it. And so that's why a lot of times when people stress eat, and they're going through stuff, as people stress eat and they're going through stuff, actually the elevated levels of cortisol are making you fatter. And it's true. I mean, it's not just like, oh, she's sad right now and she's eating, and so that's what's happening. It's not just that. It's not just the calories. It's actually the elevated levels of cortisol that are literally working against you to store fat at a much more rapid pace than your body normally would. And so when you're getting lack of sleep, you're really stressed, those things happen. And so I'm here to advise against that. And that's why the Bible says cast all your cares on him, because he cares for you. The body was never meant to be under the stress of anxiety and those kind of normal things. Now, I know we get challenged, every day, things aren't always going to go our way, but I think that's why the Bible is very clear that we're supposed to trust in the Lord and lean upon him, and he will help work on our behalf to make sure that we know that we have victory in every situation. So if you're still on, I appreciate you hanging out there with me. If you have any health questions, hit me, let me know, and I'll make sure to try to get to your questions. I know a lot of times around the church, people always ask me, they're asking health questions, especially those who know that I was in the health field. And so if you have any health questions, let me know. Amen. Cast your cares on him. That's right, because he cares for you. And so anybody got any questions before I log off? Oh, happy World Kindness Day. Today's World Kindness Day, so make sure to show some kindness to somebody else. I got my protein shake here. So, what helps with heart health? Okay, great question. Did you know that the number one, as they say, number one killer for Americans, especially African Americans, is heart disease. And heart disease comes in different ways. Sometimes it has to do with your family's history. Maybe you have a history of something, but also it has to do with eating habits and lifestyle habits. I believe that, sometimes the cultural eating habits can be an issue. I'll say traditional Black or African American eating habits, you might think, just going traditionally, you might think soul food. Well, it's very high in cholesterol, very high in fat. And so if you want to help with heart issues, it first starts with diet. Exercise is great. And if you have the ability to, I would say exercise at least twice a week, doing some cardio and some resistance training. That resistance training usually really helps to lower cholesterol levels. Obviously, cardio is always good to do the same. But you want to focus on getting exercise twice a week, and you also want to focus on nutrition. Do a low cholesterol diet. That is the issue. That is the killer, cholesterol. And what cholesterol does is that, like, let's say this is the valve to your heart. Let's say that this is your veins and your arteries. So what cholesterol does is instead of it normally functioning, cholesterol actually collects on the walls of those arteries and those veins, and it shrinks it in size. And as it shrinks in size, you actually need blood to flow quicker and harder to get to where it needs to go, leading to hypertension, aka high blood pressure. And so focus on low cholesterol diet. There's a lot of research out there, a lot of good stuff. Just Google it real quick and you'll find some great stuff that talks about low cholesterol. A lot of cholesterol, I think almost all cholesterol really comes from animal products. And so when you go low cholesterol, you're usually going to go low on animal products, probably a close, maybe quasi-vegan diet, but it's worth it because your health is worth it. You want to stick around, right? We want you to stick around. So that's what helps. Do you eat soul food? Not really. Every once in a while, and it's usually not by my request. It just happens to be around the church or maybe at a family function or something. But usually I'm not necessarily the guy that's like, oh, cook those collard greens and cook that fried chicken and macaroni and cheese and get the rib tips. I'm usually not that guy. So what is resistance training exercise? Resistance training is any training that you're doing that you're targeting a certain muscle. Let's say a bicep, you're targeting a certain muscle and you're doing it with some level of resistance. And so it could be for a barbell. And so you could be, doing the weight training with the barbell. It could be with resistance bands. Have you ever seen like the big rubber bands that they have? And so you might be doing it with that. But resistance training just means that's what it is. It is resistance. And that you are pushing or pulling some weight with some part of your body. And so, are there foods to help clear arteries over time? That is a great question. I don't have all of my stuff in front of me, but there are some foods. There are definitely foods that help lower cholesterol, and those lower cholesterol foods, like I'm trying to think of some off the bat. Foods, they have the omega-3 fatty acids. Things like wheat germ and whole wheat, those are really helpful. Salmon fish. Salmon fish, yeah, it could be helpful, but be careful, because salmon, it still has some cholesterol in it. And so, like I said, when you want to lower your cholesterol, you really want to focus on foods that are not animal-based and animal-sourced and are not animals themselves. And so, those will help you clear the arteries over time. And exercise, please, twice a week at least. Do some exercise. That'll really help. And as you do that, as you drink plenty of water, that's why they have the daily recommended allowance of 8 cups a day. As you do that, you'll be able to see some really good health benefits. You'll notice that you have more energy. You'll notice that you can think clearer a lot of times. And who doesn't want that, right? So, does anybody else have any more questions before I jump off? People always stop me all the time and ask me health questions. I do not still personal train anymore. I just don't have time. All my time is usually dedicated to ministry or family, and so. But it's still a passion of mine, and I love it, and I love doing it. And so, if I don't have any more questions, I'm gonna jump off. Questions about health or nutrition, diet, exercise. Hey, no problem. I'm glad that you all were encouraged, and thank you for hopping on with us. And remember that your diet, your exercise, your soul food is from heaven. God said, yeah, soul food is good, and I usually would encourage people to, if they're on the midst of a lifestyle change, then sometimes it can mentally help you keep sane by having a cheat day. And so, that doesn't mean you go crazy with your cheat day, but it just means you may be able to eat some things that aren't normally a part of your new lifestyle change. Also, please check it out. There's some great apps in the App Store. Got to work on the sweets. Hey, all of us are working on something. There's some great apps in the App Store that help you count calories. And there's some awesome calorie counting apps. And calorie counting is awesome because they actually did a study, and they found that ladies who counted calories for that year on average lost 6 pounds for the year, not by changing anything in the lifestyle, but simply by just keeping track of calories, just keeping a log of what they ate. And so calorie counting is great because it helps you keep a log of what you eat. And with the apps, they have a couple apps that, have every food in it. And so you don't have to enter in all the nutritional stuff. All you have to do is select the specific food and brand that you ate, and it'll put it in there for you. But you can see all the cholesterol. You can see the fat. You can see the sugars. You can see all the different kind of things as your daily totals continue to rise as you go throughout the day. And you can even set goals on a lot of these apps. You can set the goal, and it'll help you monitor. So it'll say, okay, your allowance is only 40 grams of fat today, and so it'll help you meet your goals. And so you can use technology to really help you meet the health goals that you have, especially going into the new year. And so if we eat animal food, how often? I'm a vegan and still fat. Oh man, my son is a vegan. Make sure you're exercising. Also, exercising is important. If we eat animal food, how often a week? I would say just with moderation. I can't tell you a necessary just once a day, twice a day. I would tell you just with moderation according to what your goals are. If your goals are to lower your LDL, you want to make sure that you are not taking in animal products all the time, every day. Maybe you have 3 or 4 days that you do meat and animal products, and maybe you have 3 or 4 days that you don't. It's really up to you and up to your health goals. there's two different kinds of cholesterol, HDL and LDL cholesterol, HDL, I think it's HDL. And so the H cholesterol, that's good. The LDL cholesterol, that's bad. And so you don't want that. And a lot of that is found in animal products. That's the stuff that blocks and clogs your arteries. And so make sure that you are encouraging yourself and encouraging others to have healthy lifestyle habits. Also, type 2 diabetes. That is called adult onset diabetes. It's called adult onset diabetes because it's not something you were born with. It is something that you have created in your body because you have chosen to eat too much sugar. So there's a reason why you got to be careful of the sugar intake. And, I'm not saying you can't have a candy bar every now and then, or, you can't have a pop or something, but I know people who drink like 4 pops a day and eat like a pound of candy a day. And I'm like, look, this is only going to end and I don't speak this over them, but I'd say, if you don't be careful, this can help you and lead you to type 2 diabetes, in which you have to have insulin and those kind of things, and you have to really monitor your sugar levels. Type 2 diabetes means that you have eaten so much sugar that you have thrown your body blood sugar regulator into like out of whack, like you've thrown it into a tailspin, and now you need to take extra measures now because you've introduced so much sugar to it, like you've almost broke it, basically. And so now you need to be ultra sensitive because diabetics, if they don't monitor their blood sugar levels, the blood sugar gets low, it can throw them into seizures and comas and things, and it can get pretty serious. And so that's a reason why you shouldn't be drinking a liter of pop a day. There's so much sugar in that stuff. Look at the nutrition facts on the back and see how many grams of sugar are in 1 cup of soda. I'm not saying that I never drink soda, but it's important not to drink it all the time. And make sure you drink enough water because sugar and caffeine can often dehydrate you. A lot of Americans walking around dehydrated, and so you should stay hydrated often. You should have to go to the bathroom somewhat often during the day because that's natural. It's not natural to go many hours in the day and not have to use the restroom. So is coffee good? I actually did a paper. I actually did a study about that when I was in school, and I actually did a project about caffeine, and they found that those who drank caffeine on a daily basis, 1 or more cups, were like 48% less likely to get Alzheimer's disease, and different things like that, and so it has some health benefits. So I actually do think that coffee drink in moderation can have some health benefits and is fine. What I found is that caffeine itself, even though I know it is a drug, they say it is addictive, but caffeine itself in moderation can be just fine for you with what I found no long-term side effects. I saw another question. I think Ryan had another question. Measurement-wise, how many grams of sugar is too much? That's actually a great question. I don't have a number necessarily right here with me, but I do know this. If you go to like the back of any food and you'll see the nutrition label, it's actually based on a daily allowance of 2,000 calories a day. And there's actually a equation, guys, that you can do. If you go search BMR, it stands for basal metabolic rate. And if you go Google search BMR, they actually will have an equation for guys, equation for girls. So you can know how many calories you need for each day to maintain your own body weight. And so at like normal, how many calories do you need a day? I think mine is around 3,400 calories I need. Check this out. If you eat 500 calories less per day for a week, you can actually lose, on average, you can lose a pound or 2 a week. And everybody's body responds differently, but one pound of fat is usually equal to an excess of 3,500 calories a day, and so 305. 1 pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. And so over a week, if you can lessen your caloric intake by 500 calories a day, that'll add up to 3,500 calories that week. And you can lose weight that way, lessening your caloric intake. But how many grams of sugar should you take? So if you go to that daily allowance, and I'll get to these questions in just a minute. If you go to that daily allowance, it'll actually show the percentage, like if it has 20 grams of sugar, and then it'll have a percentage next to it, which means that this is how much percent of sugar compared to your daily allowance is in this product. And so it might say 10%. And so, so you can do the math and the equation from there. If you go to those calorie counting apps, they'll actually have they'll calculate it for you. What they say as a guideline is that that you should have 60% carbs for your caloric intake, 60% carbs, 30% protein, 10% sugar, fats, and other. And so that's kind of like a guideline. So I had a couple more things. Are you vegan? I am not vegan. Our oldest son Jacob is vegan. I am not vegan. During early part of the year, we did a 21-day fast, and it was a Daniel fast. It was basically a vegan fast, and so I was for like that month. But I am not vegan. But I do make sure to monitor the animal product intake, and I make sure to monitor what I eat. I really don't eat many red meats at all. I eat a lot more chicken and fish when I do meats. And so, have you fiber been fat? I think that means have you ever been fat? I've never been fat. I've been bigger than I am now. I'm about 5'10", and weigh about 183 pounds right now. I mean, when I was lifting heavy, I was almost up to 200 pounds. And then, as I was growing up, probably 8th grade and freshman year, I was probably a little thicker in the middle. I've always kind of had a thick build, but as I continue to grow and refine health habits, I think I slimmed out some. And so, but never been like overweight. Ryan, you funny. So what do you eat on a normal basis? So I usually try to start my day with some fruit, maybe a banana or something, some kind of fruit, and then some kind of fiber and carbs. So maybe some kind of granola bar, maybe some oatmeal or something. That's what I start with. Don't skip breakfast. Let me tell you, breakfast actually starts your metabolism for the day. And so if you're trying to lose weight and you're skipping breakfast, you actually are skipping hours of starting your metabolism, because your body, it actually, when it metabolizes food and burns food, it actually starts going and it starts burning calories. They actually have something also, and I see specific apps names, so let me try to find some specifics apps. They have something also called negative calorie foods or 0 calorie foods. That means that it takes more energy for my body to burn these calories than the calories I actually put in my body. So like celery or an apple is a good example. Like let's say there's 30 calories in an apple, but my body actually, and calories is actually just a measurement unit of energy. And so calories is something that your body uses to measure energy. And so I put 30 calories in my body with that apple, but check this out. My body actually uses 100 calories of energy to burn off that apple. And so I actually subtracted calories in my body simply by eating something that was a 0 calorie or negative calorie food. And you can Google that. You'll find lots of information on that. How can you know that you're losing weight? Step on a scale. If you just go to a scale, you can know. But also you can, I also tell people, do the clothes test. Do clothes fit differently? Do pants start to fit differently? You can do the clothes test, because sometimes as you're weight training and you're losing weight, or you're doing resistance training and you're losing weight, you might only find that over 5 months you've only lost 7 pounds. But yet you feel so different and you're looking really different in clothes, because you've replaced that fat with muscle now. And so sometimes the scale isn't always the most accurate indicator. What I like to tell people is do the clothes test. I mean, come on, let's be real. all of us want to look better in clothes. Like we want to look better as people see us and as we see ourselves. And so, it's not necessarily about the number or numerical weight. It's about making sure that, hey, you look good and you feel good. I had a couple questions. I need some suggestions to eat right. And so eating right, and I see somebody else, I'm 265, 6'3", and I need to lose weight, but I just can't stop eating. Advice. Okay, great advice. All right, so check this out. There are some tips and tricks that you can do for eating and helping eating right. Always make sure to include fruits and vegetables at every meal. Fruits and vegetables will help you feel full. If you have an issue with like feeling full and you just kind of feel like you want to eat, did you know they actually put additives in some of these processed foods that spark and stimulate your appetite? Also, your body has a built-in regulator. This is how cool your body is. Your body actually has a built-in regulator that actually will tell you and tell your mind, your brain to keep eating when it has not gotten the nutrition yet that it needs. So check this out. This is what I mean. Have you ever, and I don't know if you've ever tried this, but have you ever tried eating just fruits and vegetables? If you ever try, just solely fruits and vegetables, if you ever try, you'll be surprised at how quick you seem to get filled up. And as you'll get filled up quick because your body, not because like in your stomach you're just full, but because your body has a sensor inside and it's actually telling your mind that you have reached your nutrition goal, like for that meal. But they have something also called and those are nutrient dense foods, but they also have foods that aren't nutrient dense, foods that are foods that are like empty calorie foods. That's what they call them, empty calorie foods, meaning that let's see, this candy bar that I'm eating or this bag of chips, they are so low in nutrients that I can just keep eating them and eating them and eating them and eating them. And I'm like, man, I'm not full. I want some more. Well, your body's actually designed to ask for more because it's really asking not for more food. It's asking for more nutrients. It's saying, I haven't gotten the nutrients yet that I need out of this meal. So please keep eating until I can get it. And so that's why it's so important. If you're saying I need to lose weight, but I'm just eating the wrong things, or I'm just eating a lot. Fruits and vegetables. If you just pack every meal with fruits and vegetables, and I know as simple as it sounds, it'll work, and you'll start to find yourself feeling fuller, and you'll feel better after each meal. And so whether it's cooked fruits and vegetables, whether it's raw, whatever, just get them in, and it'll help. You need some suggestions to eat right. Okay, so what I suggest, things that are not white enriched flour. You want things that are whole wheat grain flour. You got whole wheat rice, you got whole wheat bread. Try to stick with whole wheat products. Like I said, don't do too many animal products. For some are lactose intolerant. Did you know 90% of the African American population by statistic is lactose intolerant to some degree? And so check that out. Sometimes you might want to stay away from the dairy. I know they have almond milk, they have soy milk. Almond milk is a really good choice. And so for healthy eating tips, stay away from red meats. I'm not saying you can't eat them at all, but don't make them a consistent part of your diet. I would stay away from the red meats because red meats, they have a lot of fat and a lot of cholesterol, and they really help to lead to high blood pressure and heart issues. And so you got that. Eat fruits and vegetables, as I just said. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. That'll definitely help. And then pay attention to the nutrition label. Everything, except fruits and vegetables, everything has a nutrition label on the back. And if you read it, it'll tell you how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat, carbohydrates, so on and so forth. And so check that out. And I think that'll really help you kind of be on your way. They say 60% carbs, 30% proteins, 10% fat, sugars, and other. And so that'll help you be just kind of a easy guide for nutrition. I don't get off from work. Tony, what's up? I don't get off from work some days until 11 p.m. What's the best thing to eat late? Okay, best thing to eat late. Best thing to eat late is usually protein. Protein will help. And fruits and vegetables are great. Protein, fruits and vegetables, and if you need a carb, just make sure a whole wheat carb. Things like wheat thins and Triscuits, those are great, and they have some tasty ones. I think the rosemary olive oil Triscuits, nice. And so check those out. And so if you need a little snack or a little something, a lot of times those things will help. Whenever you're eating late and you're concerned about what you're eating, you can never go wrong with fruits and vegetables. I mean, like, never. If you ever have a question, you can always default to some good old fruits and vegetables. And you don't have to have them like straight up raw with nothing, like just eating a stick of celery. I mean, you can be creative. I mean, you can add peanut butter to apples. You can do all kind of different things to make it a better eating experience. And even on Instagram, they have a lot of great accounts that post healthy, different recipes for those who are health conscious. And so 100% Hutch, he said, my stomach longs for hot, savory, slow-cooked meals that fall off the bone. My cardiologist said no. Yes, listen to your cardiologist. I used to tell people who said, man, but it's so good. And I said, you know what else is so good? Living, being alive is also so good. So you just have to make a decision. Is being here on the earth more important, or is eating this food more important? Because that stuff really does matter, especially over time, over months, over years. That stuff will matter. And like I said, your body is one of the best investments you can make, and so you got to invest wisely. And I'm not saying I never enjoy something that falls off the bone, but we're after your habits. You want to make sure you have healthy habits. And so, how about canned vegetables? I've been told not to eat anything from a can. I would be a liar if I told you that I never ate canned vegetables, or our family never ate canned vegetables. But raw or fresh vegetables, I guess I should say, is better. Fresh vegetables is always better. If you can, get the fresh vegetables and just cook them like that. Remember this, whatever's in a can is always going to be processed. Whatever's in the can. It doesn't even go refrigerated. It's in a can, because it has to be preserved, because it might sit on the shelf for a while. So always remember that. I saw, do I fast to see what the Holy Spirit tells me? Yeah, you can always fast to see what the Holy Spirit would tell you about your health. Absolutely. That's absolutely allowed. Do that. Thank you for putting it like that. You're welcome. I'm hoping that this is helping, and if you know somebody else who needs some health and diet tips and just some healthy lifestyle tips, make sure to share this with them, because I pray and hope that they will be encouraged. We all want to seek to live healthy lifestyles, and that's the most important thing. And like I said, it's not just about being impressive for 2 weeks. It's about healthy lifestyle. You're welcome. It's about healthy lifestyle. You want to make lifestyle adjustments, lifestyle changes. Some more tips and tricks. Something my middle son Jordan started doing is when he likes Doritos, and so maybe when he knows he's had enough, to help him stop, he'll put something else in his mouth like gum, and he'll actually chew some gum. And something else that he started doing, which I was really proud of, is that he liked to drink pop, but he knows too much pop isn't healthy, and we keep a pretty health conscious household, and so he knows too much pop wasn't healthy, and so what he started doing, he started drinking LaCroix, which is sparkling water, essentially flavored sparkling water. And so good morning. And so he would drink that flavored sparkling water in turn to replace drinking the sugar and regular soda pop. And so as he did it, it actually caught me. My parents actually are big believers and advocates. All growing up, they would drink the sparkling water and the Perrier and stuff. And so I wasn't big on it. But actually, when Jordan started doing it, I actually jumped on with him because I saw the advantage to it. Because, instead of just trying to cold turkey, okay, I'm never going to drink pop. Just drink something that's better. That's a better alternative. I'm not saying just go straight diet. Let me tell you, I'm not saying just go to diet pops. That is also a trick with lots of sugar additives that are also not healthy. I do not care if it has the word diet on it. But LaCroix, it is obviously 0 calories, 0 sugar, and has no additives additives or anything. It just has a little bit of fruit flavoring, and sometimes you even get the plain. And so that's a good good alternative if you really like the pop and the carbonation. That helps. So I have a demanding job. How do you squeeze in a workout regimen? Are daily workouts realistic? So you just got to fit it in your schedule. So I know some jobs are demanding, and I'm not sure what your schedule looks like. And so maybe evenings might work best. Maybe mornings might work best. Maybe you're just kind of a weekend person. But however you can, I say fit it in. And you know what? If you can't even get to the gym, do something. Go outside and walk around the block. I mean, maybe you put on a little 10-minute on-demand exercise video on YouTube or something. I don't know, and just do something right there in the living room. Yeah, walking. Yeah, I mean, do something. I used to tell clients, doing something is 100% better than doing nothing. Even if it was 10 minutes or walking somewhere. That was 100% better than doing nothing. And so I believe that when you really want to exercise, you really want to do something active, you'll find a way. No matter how busy you are, you'll find a way. Because I mean, your body, you always have it. It's not like you have to rent to use your body. Your body's always with you. So you could do something for 10 minutes before you go to bed. You could do something 10 minutes when you wake up. You can walk somewhere on your lunch break. You can, you can find something to do that just gets you moving. And that's all it is. If you can't get to the gym, you say, I got the busiest schedule in the world. Fine. Take 5 minutes out and walk somewhere. I mean, we have some time, right? We're on this scope together, right? No judgment, but we're on this scope together. So sometimes we need to stop and really take inventory. We have some time, and the best investment to make with our time is one of the best investments is with our health. We want to invest time with God also, but with our health as well. God tells us to take care of our bodies, says we discipline our bodies. We buffet our bodies is what Paul said. And not buffet. We're not talking about buffet. We're talking about buffet. That means discipline our bodies. And so it's important. So, hey, no judgment for anybody if you're going through some health changes or maybe, this scope has encouraged you. I pray that it's an encouragement. We're not perfect. All of us are usually working on it and working on getting better. But hopefully this serves as an encouragement to you, that you too can get better. It's never too late to change eating habits. It's never too late to start exercising. I usually try to make sure to get it in 3 days a week. Sometimes it's 2, depending on if the week has been busy. But I like to get in 3 days a week and help keep a healthy mindset. Drink plenty of water, eat health conscious, and make sure that you keep it straight. I like to fast, and so right now, actually, this week I'm fasting sweets, and so that's what it is for me, and it helps keep me good and healthy lifestyle. But I believe that as you invest in your health, you'll stick around longer. And investing in health is great because you're welcome, because God has something for you to do. But it's hard for you to do what God has for you to do sometimes if you're too tired to get off the couch. And sometimes what a trick could be is that we run our bodies down, but we want them to perform at peak level, and that's hard. Even when you make healthy lifestyle changes, it affects how you think. It even affects the clarity of your mind. And so those healthy lifestyle changes, they're worth it. Your body's worth it. So make sure to make the investment, and also make sure to be kind to somebody today. You should be kind every day, but especially today, it's World Kindness Day. So make sure to share the love. Be kind to somebody else. I appreciate you guys logging on to the scope, and thank you so much. Make sure to share it with somebody else to encourage them in their good health, and have a great weekend.